Hello my people, FinerBub here. Thanks for checking out the video. Today, we're talking about the Arethusa Falls and Frankenstein Cliff Loop, a sweet day hiking loop in none other than New Hampshire's White Mountain National Forest. Throughout the video, I'll cover the basic info that I think you need to know if you plan to hike this loop yourself, and towards the end I'll share my personal thoughts, including a sweet bonus tip about a short little detour you can take that adds a third epic viewpoint to this already sweet day hike. But before we get into that, just a little tidbit for those of you who don't know. On this channel, I'm all about sharing my thoughts and experience on the best spots to check out and the best gear to bring with. So if, like me, you'd like to spend more time outside appreciating the finer things in life, do yourself a favor and consider subscribing. Also, feel free to check out the description below for links to any of the gear or hiking information resources I mention. Alrighty then, without further ado, let us begin.
I want to say mountains again! Mountains! FinerBub.
So, about a month and a half ago, I met up with a couple friends for a couple days of hiking and camping in New Hampshire's White Mountain National Forest. After a long and exhausting hike on our first day, we decided to opt for something a bit easier on day 2. As I said before, the plan was to hike the Arethusa Falls and Frankenstein Cliff trails, which when combined form a nice day hiking loop featuring 2 epic stops at, you guessed it, the Arethusa Falls and Frankenstein Cliff. We started our day here, at the Arethusa Falls Trailhead Parking area. From the parking area, you have a couple options. The loop officially starts a bit further up the hill along this short section of train tracks, but there are a few ways to get up there depending on which direction you plan to hike the loop. If you want to hike a clockwise loop, you can easily walk up this short stretch of road to the official trailhead for both trails, or you can take one of these short trail sections, both of which lead up to the railroad. Since we planned to hike the loop counterclockwise, we took this route from the parking lot along the Frankenstein Cliff Trail since it heads in the direction that we already planned to go. But you can go either way and just decide which direction you want to hike the loop once you get up to the train tracks. Now, we hiked this trail on October 1st, which was nice because we got to see some truly epic foliage. However, all of the leaves on the ground made it much harder to keep track of the trail, and there were a couple times when we lost it completely and had to backtrack in order to find it again. So, if you plan to hike this trail in the fall like we did, just make sure that you keep an eye out for the yellow blazes on the Frankenstein Cliff Trail and the blue blazes on the Arethusa Falls Trail. As you might assume, the ascent up to Frankenstein Cliff is a steep one. The terrain itself isn't all that challenging. I managed just fine with my trail running sneakers, but it is a serious workout, so just keep that in mind if you plan to hike a counterclockwise loop. However, the effort definitely pays off once you reach the Frankenstein Cliff viewpoint. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, look at that. Whew. Wow. Did you see 2 other guys go by?
We did. Yeah. They just left us.
Oh, okay. Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate that. Sure. I'll catch up to him in a minute. After the lookout, the scenery transitions from the deciduous hardwoods that populated most of the first section into a nice pine forest where we decided to stop for a quick lunch. Shortly after finishing lunch and passing the highest point of the hike, we reached the intersection with the Arethusa Ripley Falls Trail, where we continued going straight, beginning our descent and transitioning from the Frankenstein Cliff Trail to the Arethusa Falls Trail. After a little over a mile, we hit an intersection where we turned left down a short 0.2 mile section leading to Arethusa Falls. After about an hour of chilling in this beautiful oasis of natural air conditioning, we headed back up the trail to the loop's final 1.5-mile stretch. And now it's time for today's bonus tip. Today's bonus tip is brought to you by FinerBub's affiliate accounts. If you've been enjoying your almost weekly dose of FinerBub video content, consider supporting the channel by shopping through the affiliate links provided in the video description, all at no extra cost to you. Today's bonus tip is as follows. If you'd like to add a short and almost effortless detour to this hike in exchange for a third epic view, you can walk a bit further down the railroad to check out this old bridge. It's definitely a bit sketchy and should be avoided by those with a fear of heights, but the view from the other side is pretty unbeatable, especially during the fall. And that's really all there is to it.
That's where we started. Right there. First.
How you doing, Chewbacca?
Let me get the shot of the mountain and the car.
All in all, including stops and detours, the 5-mile loop took us around 4 hours to complete. Looking back on it now, given the more gradual slope on the Arethusa Falls Trail, we probably would have finished a lot faster if we had hiked the loop clockwise. But even though our ascent up to the Frankenstein Cliff was tough, it was nice to get in a solid workout before cooling off by the falls towards the end of the hike. And even though this loop doesn't include any 4,000 footers, it has some incredibly beautiful features that are often absent from many of New Hampshire's 4,000 foot peaks. So there you have it, folks. I'd like to wish a very warm welcome to those of you who are new to the channel. If this is the first video of mine that you've seen, I just want to let you know that I also make gear review videos in addition to the location guides like this one. So if you're curious about some of the gear I use for this hike, or you just want to learn about some more exciting new places via yours truly, I'll leave some links down below that should suit you quite nicely. Alrighty, my people, that concludes today's episode of the FinerBub Show. If you've already hiked the Arethusa Falls Frankenstein Cliff Loop, or if you're thinking about checking it out for the first time, I'd love to have you comment below, especially if you think your insight can help me disprove something that I think I already know. But before you do, I just want to once again thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you're planning your next trip or looking for new gear, don't let the small details stress you out. Remember, life's an adventure, so relax, breathe in the outdoors, and don't forget to appreciate the finer things in life. See you out there, people. Peace.